Elvis impersonator in Vegas probably has a stake in a buffet somewhere in Vegas.
All of the buffets.
All of them. Yeah, not just a steak, and probably other food as well. But
he actually built the sign as well.
Yeah, he works on commission, and there's a sign that stands 25 feet tall. And there's also other things that happen in Vegas, like DreamHack Masters, like shows that Yanko's been to, like roller coasters that Chad's been on, like Korean barbecue that Duncan's had. I mean, there you go. We've all been adventuring, and so has Parla. Good to see that. And there'll be plenty more of that stuff coming up as this whole event does progress. But now we have got one more game to go ahead and end our night. We'll see if it's going to be a crescendo. And I don't know music well enough to know the opposite of that. Anyone? No. I'll Google it. Is that actually it?
Is that a map?
Yeah. DE crescendo. Right. Okay. It's going to be Na'Vi, and they're going up against Mousesports. Now, I have to start with you, Duncan, because to my surprise, and you stated that this could actually have a bit of bite to it, this game.
Well, the thing is, I actually think that Na'Vi has kind of been a bit overblown because of what happened in the major. You know, it was only 3 best-of-1s. Like, admittedly, they looked very good in them, but that didn't really transition as much to the game against Astralis. People forget the only map that was actually close in the Astralis series was the one they won barely in overtime.
Right.
It was very, very close, and so that's not really like putting a lot of confidence in me that they're going to make it as a top-tier team. I will say a factor that absolutely can play in their favor is this coaching rule, because now you can have StarX having some inputs. I want to see if they're going to be like the old Na'Vi actually and go back to that slow style, because certainly that could be interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, the guys from Mousesports, the thing about Mouse is you can never 100% write them out. Like, actually, they're a little bit better. The problem is they have such bad games that you think, right, they're done.
Right.
Just forget about them.
You hope.
But they have still enough in the team. Chris J, Lowell, Nico, these guys can frag with the best of them. So I actually still think you can't write them out entirely. Yeah,
of course. I mean, these guys have had a bit of a pruning, right, recently. I mean, Oscar comes in, Nico's about to go out. It's like this topsy-turvy world that they've been living in. You are putting some kind of, not criticism, but a bit of a kind of caveat to Na'Vi and their success at the major, though, that you have to remember that those 3 best-of-1 wins, it was Envy. Do you remember the names? It was Envy, Mouse, and SK.
Yep.
Right, so they beat Mouse at a best-of-1. Now they're going to do it again. It's going to be intriguing to see what they can do. But you're suggesting the one change from Zeus to Simple has affected them to a point now where they're struggling to contend with the top-tier team.
I mean, we've seen it at other lands. Like, you look at IEM Oakland, etc. This was a group, they went in the easier group and they couldn't get out. They were losing against teams that are well below the level of a team that can make it to the quarterfinals of the major. So I think that was a good day. I think they did pretty well at the major, but I've yet to kind of be won over that. That's going to continue onwards.
And I mean, I'm sure you're replicating some of those thoughts, Chad. That's praise towards Zeus as opposed to criticism towards Simple, right?
Well, my criticism of them at the major was when they got to that best-of-3 stage, they played scared. You saw the way that they were playing on Mirage, how reserved they were on their CT side and that kind of stuff. It didn't look like the same version of the team that we had seen in the group stage. And in the group stage, they were running over everyone, so of course you're going to be confident. But when they were going against a team of equal caliber, they seemed to be very timid. And I think that was an issue for them. And then when they recovered, and obviously I'm talking about online play, but they were when they played Astralis online last week, they played with a lot more confidence, a different environment, but hopefully we can see that again now. I still think Na'Vi are a good team. I definitely think that they're the favorites in this group, obviously. But the problem I think they're going to have right now is Mouse, like FaZe, have nothing to lose, right? You're losing Nico, your star of the team. You are going to have to go through another development phase. It's just going to be all-out brawling, I think, right now from Mouse.
Well, Na'Vi need more confidence, but there is one player in Na'Vi who has always oozed confidence. It's none other than Simple, and he is the first to feature in our 8-part series here at DreamHack Masters. It's short, it's sweet, it's called Masters of, and this one is Masters of Unexpected. It's simple. Let's check it out.
He's going to throw the AWP. Oh my God! Simple! What is happening?
The most important for me, to my team, trust what I'm doing to win.
Simple's gameplay is something I would call it very unique.
Plays like the pug style. He can do whatever he wants around, and that's really hard to face.
He's not scared to do anything stupid. Even though there are smokes, he can just rush into the smoke when nobody expects it and kill someone.
He's Simple on fire. He's one of the best, if not the best player in the world.
It's great that they trust me, so I can do something unexpected for opponents and show something new.
A nice little summary there of one of Na'Vi's stars, Simple, master of the unexpected Yanko. And I mean, hearing from his teammates saying that If there's a smoke, he'll push through it. He plays like a pug. I mean, Crim's, strong praise from him as well, saying that he can do that versus the very best.
If anything, they needed more of that unexpected simple at the major. I agree with Chad saying that Navi did look scared in that best of 3, which was a real shame, and you can see the frustration from everyone, especially simple at some at different moments in the game, and wanting to take matters into his own hands, so to speak, and really try and put up a fight against Astralis. So that's a big question mark for Navi coming into this tournament. What adjustments, if any, did they make since the major? Are they going to maybe play a bit more loose because of it, or are they really going to try and just not play scared when the games get really close?
Now, playing loose, often we attribute that to the teams that have the high firepower, Chad. I mean, when you look at Navi, there's no doubt that they have that, right? They have the necessary players to be able to just stop relying as much on the regimented gameplay.
Yeah, definitely. I think the core of the team is based on structure and has been for many years.
Right.
So if you have that in your back pocket, I think it's fine to play a more freer style of Counter-Strike to start off with, because you can always revert back to the structure when you need to.
Yeah.
The issue that I have, and something that I touched on last season of Pro League, was the double AWP with Guardian and Simple. It was too much. On certain maps, they were running it on Cobble CT side, like as the first gun round. You couldn't retake bomb sites with it. Then going into the major, Simple, he kind of gave up the AWP duties again, and he was doing his job as a rifler. I think that's better. You need to see that version of Navi, and then when it doesn't work, then let Simple do whatever he needs to do.
Right.
So you need a good mix.
Yeah, and I mean, a mix is exactly what Mousesports are at the moment. That's going to be an intriguing discussion topic. I'm looking at you, Yanko, because it's always fun to start with your opinions on Mousesports. It does feel like you're a scorned lover at this point. You put so much faith in them. They've wanted you back 3 or 4 times, and every time you do accept it.
I mean, Mission 3 Nico is a success. This is his last tournament with Mousesports. But I mean, jokes aside, Mousesports is the team that, brought him to the international scene, so to speak, and gave him a chance. So he's definitely going to try and do his best to repay them with a good performance at this tournament. It's a good thing that the rest of the team, doesn't have any pressure on them either. They know that they're making a roster change, so they can be more relaxed. That's the problem with Mousesports. They would tend to beat themselves a lot of the times because of the pressure. They would lose a silly round and then crumble. After it, another thing we should mention as well is Oscar is here instead of Chris J.
Yeah.
That was the roster change they made initially before Nico was going to leave for FaZe. So that combined with the coaching rule at this tournament, now we can see, because Mousesports is notorious for terrible T sides because they didn't have a proper caller. Nico was doing it, right? So we can see now what is it that LMBT can do for the team when he can call the whole time.
You've also previously been critical of Mousesports' veto process. We'll see what happens in this best of 1 veto.
Probably shouldn't even look at it.
Yeah, close your eyes, Yanko, because Duncan's going to take us up.
I mean, obviously, the big downside for Mousesports is their best map, Dust 2, is the one that got removed. Then again, they have a new lineup, so maybe that can switch it up a bit. So,
Train, okay.
Mousesports removed Train, not surprising. They've been pretty terrible on that. The key here for Mousesports is do not end up on Cobblestone. Like,
Lovely
that is a
carpet,
nightmare
by the
map
way.
for them. The guys from Navi actually showed they could play Train when they were in the group stage there, so that feels like one that's one. So, thing is, at this point in time, not a standard cash ban from Navi, and this is the key thing, you've taken away the other strong map of Mousesports historically.
Yeah.
It's one of the few maps they share is probably Mirage, but I feel like they're surely going to force Mousesports to do the nuke ban, I think, because I think Navi plays that now.
It's like if Navi vetoes Cash and Mirage, what does Mousesports play? There's not a map.
I don't know if they
play.
do veto Mirage, that's the thing. I think
that's
they're
where
going to
they're
leave
going?
it. So look, Navi's got 1 ban left.
I would veto Mirage if I were them.
Didn't Mouse lose to Navi like 16-3 on Cobble?
Yeah, but that was obviously with Chris J rather than Oscar. So there we go. It's
Nuke
Navi's
God.
choice now. Do they want to play Cobblestone?
Or do we get...
Yes,
You go
definitely.
Cobble
You want
again,
to play
100%,
Cobblestone
yeah.
against Mousesports 10 times out of 10 because they can't play T side, and you need to play both sides to win the game.
There it is. Right, Yanko's going to just wipe the sweat off his brow, and we are going to be seeing that. So bad T-side Cobble. We can explore that a little bit. What stands out to
It's
you?
just like they've spent so much time doing nothing, and that's the map where you spawn with map control, and they still manage to run out of time and do nothing. It's actually fascinating to me how they can achieve that. It's actually probably more difficult to do nothing as T on Cobble than to do something.
I haven't
at
heard
this
that.
point.
I haven't heard that before. You literally on Cobble T-side you spawn with map control. I haven't heard that exact like summary.
So the thing is, because of the state the team is in which the team is right now, they can just play full on loose and just let players do whatever they want. So they might have a better T side this time around. But if they try to play like they did before, they're going to get crushed by Navi.
I mean, the obvious player that can make a difference is Oscar, though.
Yeah.
Especially because we haven't seen him in Mousesports yet show up on LAN. He had that one LAN and it obviously went really poorly. The thing you have to realize about Navi, one of the reasons I still find them underwhelming is that trio of star players has never shown up all at the same time. They've actually never had what they have on paper. So if Oscar and Nico really get it rolling, they absolutely can match the stars of Navi.
There's no doubt about it. We have seen good stuff from Navi's Cobble in the past as well. Prediction time. I'm going to start with you and work towards myself, Yanko. It's going to have to be brief.
Mousesports, of course.
Oh, of course. Okay, faith in your boy Nico. Just for one last tournament before things go differently.
Then my predictions would actually make sense when I predict for him.
Yeah.
Navi.
Navi. And I presume that's going to be the same.
I'm going to take Navi, yeah.
You are. But I mean, you're still expecting some...
I think this can be up in the air. Like, for example, at the Major, we never really saw the T side of Navi, actually.
Yeah,
and
true.
famously, this was a map that they were struggling on before. So I think it's all on Oscar. If Oscar can turn up and play and you got Nico, now you've got a game on your hands.
Yeah. So what do you think? You've heard what our panel thinks as well. You can let us know in Twitch chat. Simple exclamation mark followed by the team name, and the casters can take a look at that as we do introduce them as well. So it does seem like we've got 2 for Navi, 1 for Mousesports / Nico, as the Yanko ways do go. But I want to check in with our casters as well to know what Henry G and Sadakist are thinking. The game's on its way. Gents.
Matt can think.
I
can.
No.
Oh, is he still memeing about lights?
This
Oh, he's
practiced
memeing.
it.
It's not a meme. I actually have a headache, Alex. My eyes feel like they're exploding inside of my head. Thank you
Shouldn't
for your
have drank
sympathy.
that much last night.
Was it too many orange juices last night?
Guys, I was stuck in a snowstorm. I didn't get to fly in until very late, and I needed something to help me sleep, okay? Calm down.
It's nice to have you with us, though, Matt, and we're going to let you enjoy this final one of the evening.
Thank you so much.
It's Cobblestone between Navi and Mouse.
It certainly is. Matthew, another interesting game coming out. We've had a lot of different matches we've casted where it's like, it's the first game, it's the first tournament since the Major, lots of lineup changes. This one, it's the first time we've seen Oscar, and it's the first time we've casted him coming back. We kind of had a lot of online casts of him before. He got removed, like a lot of strange positions going on in this team right now. Obviously, Nico's leaving. Chris J's coming back, which is weird, all things considered. Like, this team has got a very strange future ahead of them.
It's more sloppy than what Hellraisers was a year ago when things got dismantled with them and they effectively became what
Do you
Gambit
really think
is
they
now.
can stay like even a tier 2 team once they lose Nico?
Yes, if Oscar performs to the best of his ability and Chris J picks up the rifle and looks like he owns it.
Sure.
I think there's a chance that they can continue to make sort of these open style tournaments where they can qualify through. I think they'll retain a spot in Pro League, throughout the bottom end of the season and of the group of the teams that are in it in the standings. Do I think that they'll be a tier 1 team? No. Do I think that they're going to make top 8 at tournaments? No. Not without some time and a lot of work.
A lot of work, I agree. Well, we are getting into this one. The last game of the day, it is Navi versus Mousesports. And Navi starting the T side. Duncan pointed out, we didn't see a lot of them at the Major in that group stage run. Fantastic run. It was mainly on the CT side. I mean, just see Oscar here, just before I ramble on. He's going to be making his way through mid doors undetected. This is a fantastic position for it to be in. He could actually do a lot of damage here. It's going to be Edward to open things up, but Oscar's still in a prime position to strike. Spots 2, nails the first headshot, can't quite find the second.
We'll just sit back as Oscar rotating around. Slow that's trying to spot out toward long at this point in time as well. Guardian, though, finds out that Oscar's gone all the way in behind them. Good position for him to be in. He's isolated, but it's going to buy space and time. It's actually calling his teammates over in rotation as Oscar does a tremendous amount of work to get it down to just Simple remaining in the push through. It's well done indeed. Mousesports getting the first round.
Yeah, Oscar, tremendous work there. Pushes through, gets a decent spawn, completely undetected through the mid doors. They have no idea. He gets 2 players lined up on screen there. It's a difficult position, right? Because he gets to shoot the player on the bottom. He can't quite see the head of the one on top. Oh, he can actually. I would have said go for the one on top first, because then it's not going to drop down and you're not going to have that problem.
You don't have to reset the aim. Hit lands in the same spot.
I would say you still have time to reset. The one dropping down, I'd say that's a bit of a missed call, but still he finds 4 kills, so you can't really criticize too much, It's fine. 1-0 for Mousesports. It's a great start for them, and we'll see whether Navi can do anything with this force by in the second. They go for PT-50 Tech-9's Deagles, some smokes, some armor as well. Presumably finish towards B. There are lots of options there. We'll see what they end up doing here, but maybe an ace play considering the setup. I can see 2 towards the A side of the map. This one's dropped down as well. One is holding up a platform, so it makes sense. It's difficult to go towards B without the Molotovs actually flush at those close range positions, so maybe an ace play would make sense at this point. As CTs drop a bit of smoke there, it's going to be just slowing down any terrorists on the other side. And we have got 4 UMPs and 1 M4. Not ideal, but like we discussed before, UMPs certainly viable on the close range scenarios, but so are those Tech-9s.
Finally, my PC allows me to correctly select spectators. No $300
Yeah,
this time.
got spectator this time. Nice.
Man, oh man, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I've had to restart it 4 or 5 times each game, but we're here. Seized. Rotate back around over toward B. UMP's in the 1M4. Now, this is a slight difference to what we saw with SK. That does give them a bit more of range to work with, but that's Oscar, and he's only rotating over just now. Already the exchanges go in as Nico, tagged slightly, does good damage onto Simple.
Yeah, well, now, time has been wasted. We get to the 30-second mark. They're going back towards A at this point. I'm not sure it's the right call. Dennis, he's going to be top of middle. He'll be able to spot them pretty much straight away. Depending on his position, I can't quite see right. So he's just been smoked off, to be fair. There it is, a spot. So he'll be able to call them rotations down. Just deny the bomb plant. That's what they need to do here, but very passive for now. The bomb might work his way across. There it is.
Got transition, no smokes to cover. All they need to do is just watch to make sure they can't get to the site, but they're making it awkward as they trip over each other. 3 players, 1 peak spot, and they do damage both ways, in fact, into themselves in some extent. That allows Edward now to equal this up on 2 bomb planted as well, and Nico goes aggressive, finds one already, knows that the last remaining player, Edward, is underneath the balcony, who nearly had a lineup, but Lowell's there to take down Edward.
Well, there it is. Mousesports did a very good job at the start of the round, then just slowing things down, dropping the smokes to the correct time, denying any sort of control towards that B site. You can see then Navi adjusting all the way back towards A at the 30-second mark as well. Just had to run into the bomb site. Dennis, I think his positioning could have been better, considering he's the last player at the site at that point, that sort of scenario. I would say play towards APC, the bomb site, allow yourself to stay on the site and actually stay alive as long as possible, find a kill, have some options to move around. He gets 1 kill, then goes down. It actually looked a little bit clumsy at stages, but they win the round regardless. And there's another force buy coming in from Navi. They get the bomb down there, so it's not going to be a full investment, it's a partial buy, but most teams after the previous investment would actually allow that to kind of build up going into the next round, but they've gone in. PD50's Tech 9 armor once again. Certainly very, very good at these weapons, and we'll see whether they can find any more form here. They go very quickly towards the A side of the map. A lot of damage being inflicted by Grenade, though.
Oscar backs away. Let Simple get ever closer on the other side of the smoke. He has Dennis, Lowell, and Speedy all rotating over, but he's in an awkward position. He does time it to try and bait in Simple. The shot toward the top of mid was to signal that I'm not paying attention, and then turns back to catch him off, but it doesn't quite work. Simple gets the better of him, and now has an M4 with head armor to work with. He's gotten 3, no 2. Okay, he's batted that back on the kills from Guardian, but he sprays down the doorway and turns the round. That single M4 could dictate the outcome. It certainly does. Simple finds Nico as well.
Oh, how fitting. We had a little mini documentary about Simple before, and they talked about his play style and how he can turn rounds on their head, and he does a fantastic job there. 4 kills for him in total. That was the partial buy. A little bit of a risk in terms of that money expended into that round. And here's the replay of Simple's fantastic world as M4A1S. And the fast A rush works out quite nicely there. And now it's up to Mousesports with 1 scout, UMP, the force by themselves. And I thought that was it. I thought they were going to get a 3-0 and have a fantastic start here, but it could all fall apart as they come into round number 4 with not really too much to work with. That scout in the hands of Oscar. Normally Chris J's role within this team. See whether we can make anything happen.
Dennis will back away to support Oscar's position, trying to spot through danger. Bomb dropped at T stairs. Oscar tags up Edward, down to 12 HP. He'll back away. Guardian's going to grab bomb. They'll rotate this back over toward B. Nico and Lowell are the 2 on that side of the map, with Lowell being outside of window at drop. So Nico's going to have to make a fast call early on this information to get them over toward the site. And he's gone down already. Guardian with the winning exchange on the M4. Smoke ready for Edward as well. Will cut off rotation. So thankfully they've already gotten inside of the site. They still have to find angles. Lowell's another key factor in this team for me that doesn't get talked about enough. As the flames go down, Oscar tries to take advantage, but can't. And an aid comes through. He's out of the equation. It's Flamey that gets him. Speedy from a range has to watch 2 positions, because as he looks toward long, they walk in from drop, and it's Flamey that gets 2 kills. Both he and Lowell going down, leaving Dennis the Menace. He'll get seized, but that is all.
Yeah.
I think that is all. He's got an AK. I'm sure they want that back.
He's trying to get a couple more kills there. He knows the round's over, but there it is, Simple with another lovely shot there. The MVP of that round has to go towards Flamey. They get into Fields to be bomb site, and he just mows everyone down in front of him. That was the force buy from Mousesports. 2nd stage loss bonus now. Not going to have enough to work with. $1,900 coming in, and it will have to be pretty much full eco here. And Oscar, we wanted to have the AWP, right? Going into the next round, they're going to have $2,400 on top of this. So unless he gets a couple of kills, almost impossible for him to get the AWP. So we'll see what happens going forward. That's going to be a really pivotal factor. He's brought in to be the superstar AWPer, right?
Yes.
Replace Chris J, and that's going to be a tough challenge if he can't even get rolling with that weapon. He has to go to the M4, and Guardian gets it off himself, but Speedy does make something happen here with the silenced USP.
Very aggressive play from Seized, and an established crossfire catches them off. Gun down in that position for them to grab if they can get that far forward. Simple wants to guard it, does so successfully. He'll take down Lowell, but watch out, 16 HP. Nico, he senses blood. He goes after it, finds it, gets an AK to work with, but there's no armor. The one benefiting factor is that Nico has 100 HP if they elect to try and find another pick, but I think it may best serve them to hold the gun
No,
for the
the
next
money's
round.
not amazing, right? So they've had a couple of false buys. The Mac 10 could probably go and get that extra $600 maybe.
They're through the vents. They're already in. Smoke's out as well to isolate the second player. They want to push on a Guardian. They want to find him. No armor, and they have been tagged. Nico's now on 36. Does manage to wrap around and catch off Guardian, though, as he's looking up toward balcony and finding his teammate. It's on to Flamey. He's gotten it down to the 1 versus 1. Bomb still ticks, and Nico can't do anything. Does tag with an immediately punch to the sky and taken down by the M4.
Yeah, well, they did a reasonable job overall there. Like I said, I think saving the AK might have been the better option. Comes down to the 1v1 in the end, but without the kit, wasn't really ever going to happen. But still, here we go, then the first gun round. And like I said before, very unlikely going to have the AWP here. So it's going to be 5 M4A1s, interesting enough, on Cobble. And 1 kit, and Oscar with no grenades whatsoever. Maybe he's saving his money to get a little bit more. He's actually fully invested, so here we go then. Guardian, of course, with the AWP. The absolute best AWPer in the world. He's starting to get back to that form, I would say. We saw some of the glimpses of it at the major, and I'm sure it's just a matter of time. He seems to be all in right now with CSGO. It's going to be Nico to strike towards that upper platform. It takes down Simple, so the main advantage goes towards them for now.
Flash off. Nico has to back away as well. But Simple versus Nico when they've got freedom is definitely a tantalizing affair. Oscar match Guardian, that's another something we have to consider. And remember, Na'Vi, we didn't see their T-sides much at the major. We did see a slightly improved CT side on this map. That has been the issue for them in the past. But it still serves to tell us that we need big results from them on this approaching, this attacking side. Edward's going to start to work out toward long. Dennis boosted in the corner. No one to bait him into this, so he needs to hope he finds at least a one and done, trading on the way through. Because if they peek it right away, which teams often do, he'll be found. But Edward, he doesn't see him in the corner. He's crouched long enough. Unless they jump specifically to find him, or that. Edward gets into the corner and turns back with a higher altitude, and he's able to get the headshot.
Yeah, but it's traded pretty quickly, so the man advantage still does lie in favour of Mousesports here. Guardian, pop flash, high-risk manoeuvre, but gets away with it. Ascertain there's no CD players here whatsoever, and the A side's pretty much open. There is one player at the back, though. I didn't quite spot him, so he's going to be the linchpin here. That will be Oscar. He's got that M4, no flashbangs to work with. He can actually get a couple of kills here, and it'll work out for him, unfortunately not.
Bomb planted to Lowell and Nico to work back into the site to get it. And Lowell's got a line up toward hotspot, but goes down to Flamey. Leaving Nico, takes down Edward. Low HP on Flamey as well. Nico gets both. And go hunting for gun. AWP, there it is, top of the ramp. Lots of time to get to the fuse.
It's actually an ace for Nico as well, by the way.
Is it really? Wow, it is. It's so subtle it was an ace.
Yeah. You get that opening kill, it all started at the upper platform and then funnels him back towards A and just gets every single kill. And he saves it up as well, so well done to Nico there. Obviously, this is his last event for Mousesports overall. I guess it's been a long time coming.
Absolutely.
Picking him, but still,
they tried to do what they could to build a team around him.
I think the guys on the desk made some good points there. Obviously, he wasn't really on anyone's radar until he joined this team. So he has a lot to thank in that respect. He's had a platform to show how good he is, and now he says goodbye. So it's only fitting he gives a world-class performance here to finish things off as his last tournament, right?
He's been a part of this organization with Mousesports for almost 2 years.
Yeah,
that's pretty insane to think about. At least a year and a half. Nico, speaking of, gets taken down by Edward. Good flash timings coming through from Na'Vi on the take. They still have guns inside of the site. Lowell being one of the hired hands, and he's already got a kill. Tries to push up in the smoke as well at the alley. There's a player to his right, but there's also a bullet in his face as Flamey greets him. Footprint shows, and down he goes. It's Oscar and Dennis to try and pull this back. Low HP for Edward and Flamey. That doesn't necessarily mean that he'll be able to find the angle. Tries to wall in toward E-Box, hoping that maybe someone's there in the post plant. It's Dennis that does good work. That's the information relayed over. But here's where the op becomes a problem. It's low enough the pistol would do, but he has to overthink it, and Flamey's timing walks in, takes him down. Na'Vi stays ahead by 1.
Yes, they do indeed. And that's a very simple B-side approach there. Nice and fast towards that B-site. Flamey finding more tremendous shots there towards the end of the round, and not really much Mousesports could do about it. Overwhelmed, and the AWP left in the 2 versus 1. Can't do anything about it. Here's the replay of the shots that you missed there. Flamey, like we said, with some nice shots there. He seems to be in fantastic form right now, and it's another eco, unfortunately, for Mousesports. And as everyone knows, the T-side for Mousesports on Cobble is not great. So they really need to be winning this half at least to have a chance, I would say. Beating Navi here. It's been some interesting rounds with Nico getting aces and stuff. It's going to keep their head above water, but this is one that's almost impossible at this stage. We'll see what they can do with the Desert Eagles, CZs, and the Zeus as well for Speedy. And there it is, it strikes. It actually gets the first kill.
I love it. Where's Rushley when we need him? Nice shot from Nico as well. Hits the head with the Deagle. This is all working too well for Mousesports. Guardian gets one back, but they still have 2 men in the lead on Mousesports. 2-man advantage to work with. Guardian rotates back to make sure there's no flank coming in because everything else has been thrown at them in this round, including that of the taser.
Yeah, this is a prime example of how not to do the anti-ecos. Running in 1 by 1. It's very tight choke points, and you will get punished for it. Still a winnable round, of course. It's 4 on 2. They've only managed to pick up a UMP. And it's Steez and Guardian, and Steez nails that first headshot and brings them 1 step closer to getting back into this round.
Seized, holding the angle, holding steady, is going to get gifted a kill because Dennis starts to look for information. You're right. They're down a man, or excuse me, they're up a man. They're down on weapons, and he thinks he has to push forward. It's the same situation as a gun round. Just sit back.
It's like, at least give your teammates a chance. They can't even get a refrag there. He just walks into the Lion's den. Now it's a 2 on 2, and now we'll just find something here, but it comes down to the 1v1. Guardian versus Oscar.
Nice shot from Guardian to open it up, but it leaves him alone. Bomb not planted, 17 seconds. He has that bomb. He's trying to play this correctly. He wants to use it to his best advantage. He knows Oscar's in behind the rock as well, so plays it how he can, but can't force a peek from Oscar, so elects to put the bomb down. Oscar tries to sleep up, tags him. No armor on just the Deagle. Gets taken down immediately.
That's the 4 on 2. Those are the most gutting rounds to lose. And you can see what Dennis was trying to do there. He's just hoping he can sneak a kill in. And this is the turning point, right? After this kill on Speedy, like Dennis just walks across the seas, just reading him like a book. And at that point, round over, I think you're doing a much better job. If you can just get in a really annoying position, the time's ticking away, you just sit in chicken coop and you wait for them to actually commit to the bomb site. You're going to get a tell, you're going to hear some sort of footstep when they're coming in. At least try and get a 1 and done. Don't just walk into the crosshair with the Deagle. Like, that's such a nightmare. Your teammates can't even do anything about it once you go down. Another eco here from Mousesports, but Oscar, they seem to be very efficient right now with the Desert Eagles, and they're hitting some shots, but Edward, he's had enough of that nonsense, and he finds 2 kills there towards long A. So man advantage now towards Navi, and it will be Nico still alive though, so never discount Mousesports when he is still around, especially when he's got a Deagle in his hand as well. 2 players towards B, and Nico on towards the platform. Maybe a kill here, not meant to be. Flamey takes down Speedy.
Edward on 8 HP, but Nico and Lowell not looking poised for this round to go their way. Lowell's going to try and play a clever Fallen angle out in front of Stables. No smoke. Remember that one from this morning's game when Fallen slipped in behind them. Didn't seem like the best place to be positioned. Lowell's thought better of it and gone inside of the Stables at this point in time now, but still just the pistols and Navi with 47 seconds. They'll go. Nico's rotated. He doesn't have a Deagle, so give him a chance for maybe 1. If Lowell can capitalize on top of that, maybe there's something in it, but it's quite suspect. And Nico down already. He gives himself up. Simple's able to find it, take him down with the op that'll likely go back to Guardian. Lowell does get the bomb dropped for a moment, but won't be able to pick up a gun, and Flamey's immediately there.
Well, a couple of ecos there from Mousesports. They make the rounds interesting at least. They found a few kills, especially in the round previously. But now they get the AWP in the hands of Oscar. Now things really will be seen as to whether he can step up here, whether he'll be dynamic, whether he'll be playing towards that A site by himself, or hunting for frags, maybe towards drop down, getting boosted up. We'll see what kind of playstyle he'll be opting for here. As into round number 10, it's 6-3 right now for Navi. Definitely heavy favourites going into this matchup, I'd say. It's a very obvious statement, but now a double orb setup, Simple and Guardian. With the orbs on the T side of Cobble. Very rare to see that come in, but let's see how it works out for them.
Simple. Waiting for the angle to present itself to him. On the stairwell, Nico getting ever closer to it. Thinks about putting himself there. Shoulder check. Knows, obviously, as everyone does, that the boost exists, so he'll have the angle in mind. And hence why the Flash now likes to come over and peek. Now it's a smoke instead, so he's actually trying to hold them back at long. Molotov's going to go behind them. They still have this, and therefore they don't even consider it. Simple gets one. Lowell can't find the angle yet, goes to the open. Simple re-peeks, but he knows it's a boost, so even though he gets Simple, Seas just says, fair enough, I'll walk out, take him back. So the trade favors. It's Dennis to get Edward that's more worrying for the Na'Vi side until Seas is able to get back Speedy, which he had to do as well because Oscar gets Flamey. And it's 2 versus 2. Bomb not yet inside of the site. HP's fairly even on either side as well, with a Molotov going in toward the E-box. Already inside of the site, though, is Oscar pushing through a smoke in perhaps desperate fashion.
Yeah. To be fair, he had to make something happen there. You can see Dennis, 19 HP, pretty far removed from the situation. It's Oscar just trying to push through the unexpected play. Now Dennis, not known for his big clutch plays. Let's see whether he can actually do anything here. It's a pretty awful spray, unfortunately. Doesn't really amount to any damage, and it's going to be Guardian to finish him off. And 7-3, another eco has to come in for Mousesports. 3K across the board for them. Can't really justify much more than some 5-7s maybe. Desert Eagle here or there, but this is getting a little bit out of control for Mousesports at this point. As we go into round number 11. Double orb setup still going for Na'Vi. I'd say that was an opportunity to get rid of that. It's not amazing for a T side, but I guess they're winning rounds. Speedy back on the Zeus. He'll be towards middle for now. He's got some body armor as well. Expecting to have that Zeus to get a nice close range kill, pick up an AK, and then see what he can do there. But this time he is shut down, blown out of the water by Flamey.
With Oscar at corner. He's trying to do battle best he can with weaponry that's really not sufficient. Dennis seems to make it work. It's not the size of the gun, it's how you use it. And he'll grab an AK for his efforts. As he backs inside of the site as well. Armor for him, so decent for him to be the one to pick up the said AK-47. Is 7-3 for Na'Vi. They have a substantial lead. Bomb still waiting over toward the Dragon Lore stairs. With players on B that are coming back over toward A, this is likely going to be a hit where the AK exists. So Dennis is in the site, but this is more tantalizing. The fact that Seas has already made it down drop, this is why they want to go back to A, because he's got all the information. He'll be able to find that AK for free. Down he goes. And that should be round over. Rotations from B are a long way removed. Pistols only. Nothing more to work with. Seas is already ready for their arrival as well. Takes down one in Nico. Quick reload because he's got the time. Lowell's there as well. Thank you very much. Great round from Seas to sneak up and get in behind them.
Yeah. Well, they keep 4 players alive. They drop 1 frag there. A lot of ecos here for Mousesports so far. Around the half is actually fallen out of their control right now. It's going to be 8-3, so Na'Vi win the half. And we did say for Mousesports to have a standard chance of even making this game interesting, they need to win that CT half. So double orb setup, an adjustment comes in. Nico picks up an orb as well. Why not? It's not going too well so far. And they did pick up the pistol as well. They had the 2-0. Only one single gun round so far, but let's see if they can find any more.
Edward backs away with flames.
Could have opted to commit to that.
Could have, but elects not to. Dennis, that's going to be sitting at the corner. Does get flashed off, tries to lay the crossfire. Edward, he's got them both. Guardian's going to find Oscar as well as they push through. It's Speedy, Nico, and Lowell only remaining. Speedy in behind the APC. Holding for a better angle to try and wait for them to push up toward mid. He's got to back away because he's on a roll from both sides. Clever smoke to try and get himself in a better position. This will leave him the elevation. He's got one. Needs to be aware they're pushing up. Stable drops away. Smart play as Guardian goes down. He'll survive a little bit longer. They need the next pick as well.
So Simple's actually made his way to a connector. He's called with his teammates, B's clear, but Nico's actually slipped past undetected as well. They could run out knives in, and they have no idea that Nico's waiting for them. Nico, you see, there it is. Oh, he misses that shot there, but the no-scope comes in. Still a chance here for Mousesports.
Simple's got one to work with. Nico, the last to find, has the bomb down. 29 seconds together they'll work. Simple and Flamey to rotate over, and both are immediately going to go through the door. Smoke down, Simple's in. Nico's rotating in behind the tree. Still wants to hold the tight angle toward drop, but now knows with utility being deployed. They're in the site. Spots one before the smoke gets bloomed.
What?
Oh, what? They try and go for the plant. The smoke's not there to cover. And a massive misplay. I'm not sure what that was from Flamey.
He's got 13 seconds. It's not like it's a 5 and you have to plant.
I'd like to see his POV because I think maybe he just edged out of the smoke at the last second.
It looked like he was well out of the smoke there. I think they just panicked a little bit. With that much time remaining as well, you don't even need to force a plant. You know Nico's there. You've just heard him shoot off something, so We'll have a look. So that's what I said. So Simple got towards connector. He's called the B's clear, and Nico's actually waiting for them.
He's
well out. He's not even.
He's definitely well out. But I'm wondering if he had bomb in hand in the smoke, and when he walked out, he was already committed to the plant and realized, oh wait, I'm in the open, because that looked very, very curious. Nico with a great round gets 4 kills. The last 2 far easier than they should have been. Guardians tagged to 1 HP remaining at this point in the round. So this could be Mousesports getting 2 on the bounce with that misplay from Flamey.
Yeah, that was so nuts. Like, with that much time remaining, I just don't know what the decision in his head there. So you just go for that plan. Like, why does that have to happen? You've got 2 players right there. Trade the frag. You know where he is. You're just taking yourself out of the situation by going to the plan. You've left that essentially 2 one-on-ones where one player can't actually do anything. Yeah, very interesting. Well, still, might not be too damaging here. Like we said, they've already won the half, and with that, presumably the game, considering what we know about Mousesports on the T side. But for now, Mousesports have the man advantage, 4-3. Guardian down to 1 HP himself, and Edward waiting towards middle. Dennis on the other side, though. It's a nice little crossfire Mousesports got set up. Whether Dennis can capitalise with the SMG, yet to be seen.
Seems to clear all angles on the way through to the site, but it's Dennis down below. They don't spot. Oh, careful with the flashbang. Timing is everything. Thankfully, he gets it out in time, and Guardian can't do anything of it. It means that Seized inside enemy lines is the last alive, but I think they have an inkling that he's here, because Dennis at the bottom of middle calls that we didn't have any information toward long A. He's started to walk back up toward the half wall. Seized will do what he can, but he needs to find free shots. And toward the vents is a good place to start. Dennis gets overlooked, but Lowell's ready for it. So they were fully aware that he'd gotten in there somewhere. And even still, there's only 4 seconds left, so it wasn't like the round had any promise.
And the thing is, that big round we discussed is actually really opening up opportunities now for Mousesports. It's going to be presumably a full eco at this point from Na'Vi. And now they can actually get right back into this half. They finish this 8-7. It's still possible they win the second half pistol. We get into it. Tech 9, speed of 50s and a deagle. Some head armor from Simple there. And we'll see whether he can actually make something happen with the Desert Eagle. Double up set up, and there's the first shot from Oscar. Aggressive this time towards long A. Takes down Edward. 5-4 in favour of Mousesports. Don't need to do too much now. They've gone aggressive at the start of the round, got the advantage. Ascertained it's an eco. No one needs to give anything away, just hold back. They've been gifted a lifeline with those. We've got the Nico ace. Nico like 3-on-1 just then as well.
The Nico, here's the bomb, kill me.
Yeah, that's so nuts, that run. I really want to get the demo and analyse that for myself. I want to see that from all the different variables as to what Flamey was thinking there.
I don't know that you can really delve into his mind in that.
Yeah, it's like I was trying to work with him. Obviously, I can only see what the guys see at home, right? So I might have missed something.
100%, no, totally. And it is fair to think that if they had some sort of other information,
yeah,
I still think the smoke was leading him to believe he would be covered. But Speedy's going to back away. Down and drop. They've got pistols in position, but Speedy's smart to play the distance away from those pistols. The problem is he missed just a lot of shots. Even if he'd picked up one there, by that time, he'd already gone so low on ammunition. I doubt there was any chance to get both. Goes down, gives a gun to Seized, and they have armor on this terrorist side, so that gun will actually be massively beneficial. Smoke goes deep. Thinks he can capitalize on the fact that it was thrown from close. That just baits him toward Dennis, so M4 gone already. It's Guardian and Simple on the A site trying to slip in. Simple's gone through the connector doorway. Flamey holding the door so Nico can't get back through. If they find Oscar below the balcony, big chance this works. Knows hotspots occupied. Can't find the headshot. Simple gets one there, and the low HP in the site might get a bomb plant in the round, but that's not going to happen. Mousesports gets 6, and this again is now going back to 3 rounds because it's bought them a lifeline into this game, and we know Na'Vi struggle CT side as well.
That's why I said that they want to be aiming to win the half, but this is at least something. A game that looked like that was out of control and they weren't going to get back into. Nico does find some room to work with, and now we go into the last round of the first half here. Guardian back on the AWP, but you can see it's not the best buy. It's going to be Simple, the magician apparently, as he's called himself. He's got the UMP.
It's better than the cleaner.
Yeah, that's true.
We get a nickname every DreamHack Masters.
Yeah, okay. Is that what that's what we called?
Yeah, that was when Cajun B decided he was the cleaner.
How did that even come about?
I have no, because I guess he was like clutching a bunch or cleaning up situations. I don't really know. But it led to some incredible photoshops.
Yeah, that's true. I remember those.
Yeah. Imagine having a nickname and giving yourself another nickname. The vanity of these people. Flash over toward drop. Flamey will take advantage of that. Smokes out on the E-box as well, meaning that he can burrow his way into the corner now. cat and mouse. Speedy slips in. He reads it. Flamey finds him as well with the headshot. Spots the player on tree with a quick shoulder peek. That's Lowell. Tags him to 19, forcing him off the tree, but it's Oscar that holds the better angle on the AWP backside drop to make sure Lowell has safety inside of the site. And Nico, he's still playing from chicken coop. Simple's gonna slip by him, try and find the wallbang, flashed out. And it's now him versus Nico, back and forth, and Simple wins it. Clips him as he tries to retreat after a fired shot toward the box, and that allows Simple deep inside of the site. Bomb to his right, he wants kills instead, gets Oscar. 2 in the round and 2 very, very big ones as Edward is still trying to pinch in, but as this happens, look at Dennis's position because Simple's gonna be sitting in the open, bomb goes down. They know where he is, and Simple did well to find Lowell beforehand, but it's a 1 versus 1, and Edward, he needs to find him quickly. Shoulder bait out, timing goes in, flash goes deep, and it's Edward to get the kill. 9-6 Na'Vi.
Yeah, that was such a perfect backstab from Dennis as well. He finds that one player, but can't deliver in the clutch situation. Edward to finish things off. 9-6, 8-7 would have been fantastic for Mousesports. All things considered, the way this kicked off for them. But Simple, a bit of magic from the Magician there to find the last few kills, and we all know how good he can be with that AWP. So then, after winning the pistol, 6 rounds obtained by Mousesports, seemed to come alive towards the end, but you have to say, Matt, that's all down to one player indeed. That's going to be Nico, who's actually leaving the team after this event. Well, that's why I speculate as to what happens once this guy leaves the team.
Sorry, I thought you were going to make the point you speculated because Yanko said it as well, that he would want to put in a good game with his last for Mouse. I think that's why, because he's definitely trying that hard.
The future
but you're right.
Team,
no, I totally agree with that point.
Like the fact that they're just about winning rounds, this seems to be the case throughout this team's tenure. Like every time they win, or get close to winning these kind of games, it's like you think back to it and say, wow, that nuts round from Nico and how he kept him alive and that massive clutch situation where he got the 8 in that round. I was not sure what the future holds once he departs. That's the main question mark for me going forward. He bails him out of a lot of tricky situations.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's no denying he's a very hard asset to replace. I doubt they'll be quite on this level, but I don't think they'll be written off either. I think you've got to give them a chance with the new roster.
Of course.
It's definitely a topic for discussion. I can't disagree with what you're stating at all. So a pistol buy for Oscar. He goes on to the Tech 9, or rather gets dropped the Tech 9, hence the armor. And it leaves Speedy as the support player in all of this, if you want to call him that. As Seized will be the one without armor, but has the kit and a nade on the CT side. So far, so good. Nico on his own. It's going to probe out the B site. Seized Edward, both over in that position. 3 on A. And it's Oscar, Dennis, Lowell, and Speedy that want to take that position. Guardian has to be careful not to over-rotate early. That's Nico's job to try and make him, but he doesn't want to commit to that either just yet. I imagine he's going to get down drop and try and split the site.
Yeah, for sure. Like, he just wants to get control of that area first and just sit in position. They don't necessarily have to commit towards A. You can see them actually rotating now back off. Still have the smoke in hand. No real damage inflicted just yet. Nico takes a little bit towards drop down. Actually 57 HP, and it looks like it will be a B-sided attack as everyone from Mousesports makes their way back towards B halls. But Edward, he's got a firm grip on toward that upper platform right now with the silenced USP.
Flashes and smokes. Not really an effect in a pistol, but there is one smoke. That's going to go down toward the door. It's Edward. Gets the shot on Dennis. That's all traded out by Oscar. He realizes he's gone toward that burrow. It's going to be all blue, though, in the kill feed, because Guardian and Seized are converging for more, and they're pinching it on everyone behind the rock. Don't even need crossfires. They just swarm on top of the site. No bomb plant for Mousesports, and Na'Vi get a pistol round on the side that they're not quite as good on. This is a great start for them.
That was an interesting approach from Mousesports. They didn't really do anything at the start there. It looked like they were hunting for some A control, and then without any rhyme or reason went all the way back towards B. Very simple execution, not a split necessarily, just all coming out towards B after the smoking connector, and just kill by kill. Navi just ran away with the round. It didn't really look like Mousesports stood a chance at all. As we go to round number 2, no bomb planted, of course. It will be the force buy in the second round on the T side here. Tech 9's Desert Eagle, 3 smokes, so presumably some sort of wall of smokes towards the B site. Nico just trying to get something done here with his Desert Eagle. He's standing in the open, hoping someone jumps into his crosshair, but unfortunately, Guardian takes his head off, 5 and 4, just like that. And it's not like anyone can really pounce on the Mousesports side. The bomb's down in the halls, and they're completely split up for now.
Dennis trying to find the angle with the Tech 9. Will eventually get it. Simple as well, overstepping the mark. That's a gun down at long that I want to grab, but Flamey says, no way, that's mine. Leave it there. And that's what will happen, at least for now, because there's no other terrorists over on that side of the map. It's Oscar, Lowell, Speedy. They're all heading towards B with Dennis, or rather, excuse me, with Edward inside of the site. C's waiting a drop because Well, why not? 1-1-1 in the defense. Split up all possible choke points, but now with Flamey backing away, he's going to start to look toward A. And Flamey, on top of the platform, won't spot them until they're deep within the site, but Seized is acting accordingly at balcony. They want to set a crossfire. They're not yet poking. He can spot the shadows, Seized. He's making sure no one's going to sneak in behind him, but when he does that, Flamey goes down, so they actually have a chance to get toward the site and get a bomb down. Lowell's done exactly that, and I think he's actually planted at hotspot as well, which does mean they've got to get closer to the site to protect it. But it also means they can control and contain the balcony. Do they go on this? Edward, he doesn't have a kit, but Seized does. He's got the M4, and that's why he needs to just hold it toward the doorway. It takes down 2. Lowell's on top of the site, though. It's still down to a 1 versus 1. That's Edward gone. Kit still in play. UMP versus UMP. Armor on both, and Lowell's going to try and bait out time as far as possible. He's on it as well. Lowell. Oh, he jumped. I think he's masked it with his own noise, but he gets it just in time. No, he didn't. Navi did get it. That's incredible. I'm not sure that he heard or recognized that he was on it.
I think he did. It's just the case of, like, there's no chance anyone's going to go for a full defuse in that scenario. You just assume that they're going to get off it as they know you're low HP and they're going to chase you down. But see, that's such a sick play by him. That's so nice. The fact he's just so confident in that. As soon as he touched the bomb, I just knew that was it. He's got it. And it comes down to like milliseconds, right? But still, even we didn't know when he died whether he picked it up. But just in the nick of time, he saved Navi there. Very frustrating round for Mouse to drop. And you see they come in with UMPs, Tech-9s and an AK. The desperation play. And Nico, once again, that upper platform, seeing if he can make anything happen here with the UMP. Obviously, it comes down to that 1v1, so then the money's not going to be in a great position for Navi, so the force buy certainly justified. And then they commit towards B side now.
Guardian's trying to wait and use that smoke to his advantage. Position from Edward on top of the rock does well to spot Speedy, but unfortunately gets tagged up. Tremendous damage on him. He's backed away entirely toward Connector. Guardian gets boosted, but Nico slips through undetected as soon as he is, and this is all Mousesports. Flamey gets only 1 kill onto Nico, who found 3 in the round with aggressive play, as always, on a UMP. We know he loves that gun. He's elected to use it in gun rounds multiple times in the past. And it's Mousesports with the win. Yeah, that's actually a really nice play. Considering they knew it came down to that 1v1, the money was going to be tied with the CTs. This force buy actually made a lot of sense. Here's Nico pushing through the smoke. UMP, tremendous work by him. And there was some reactions there from Navi trying to boost up in front of the smokes that came in, but a little bit too late. They were already segregated. And there's going to be a force buy in return, I believe. Yeah, it's a full reset. So go for Deagles. CZ's not really much to report to the grenades. Actually, nothing at all. Simple's got the kit, though, so let's see if these 1Ds work out. I think if Mousesports drop this round, that might be it. The morale will be out the window. So, need to get this one. Let's stand a chance, see what they can do. Pistols only for Navi. Did well to survive the 1v1 and the defused from Seized and then still get beaten in the next.
Yeah.
Momentum definitely gone away from them. And this is a game. This will be a brawl. Edwards playing bottom broken with Guardian to his left. Try and bait each other and get information where possible. Guardian likely to be the magnet and pull them away from his teammate who's trying to go undetected, but that play, the window's passed. So they elect to go elsewhere. Seized downed already by Oscar. Can't get a reloaded in time. Nice shot from Edward, but left open from E-Box immediately after, and Oscar will get the kill. Leaving Simple and Flamey, and Simple is going relatively quiet compared to his pace at the start of the game. He's on 18, does still lead for his team, but it's Nico overall on 19. Fairly even frag distribution throughout the board on all fronts, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Well, this is a round that Navi certainly forced into. Only a first aid loss bonus, only 1,900 bucks coming into the bank accounts next round. It will be 11-8 after this one, and presumably 11-9. But there's another frag for Speedy. Just Flamey remains now, and he has got head armor as well, so you might want to consider saving at this point. He's got the Deagle in hand as well. Not going to get much more out of this round. Oscar with 3 kills. And still, we do have a game on our hands, Matt.
Definitely. I mean, absolutely. That's what I was saying. I mean, Navi, CT side, we used to, the whole, I don't really want to say a joke, but the point we repetitively made was that if Navi didn't get at least 5 on their CT side, they didn't have a chance. If they got 5 and they swapped over to go T side, we had a game.
It looked like they rectified that the major, though. That was a map they played twice in that group stages, and they looked amazing on the CT side.
Yep.
And we're still very early stages, right? We've only seen the pistol and that third round which slipped away.
And I think part of that at the major is what Chad said as well on the desk, is that they got rid of... It was almost too much with the double op setup with Guardian and Simple. It was so tantalizing. It's the best double op in the world. Fallen and Cold, Simple, Guardian. And they were going to it too much, and they were really hindering their economy a lot on the CT side. And I think getting away from that was probably part of the reason that helped.
It was, for me, it was just Simple. Every time he had the money, he was buying it. Every single time. No questions asked.
Guardian's going to get pushed Onto the pistol, nade damage in, and that allows Seized to walk in behind them. What a play. Guardian distracts both, throws a nade, and Seized walks up through the window, gets both down, but it's all come even keel because Speedy has taken down Flamey and Lowell. He works from the platform with an AK. They've got an M4 in the hands of Seized. Simple's not been able to pick up anything. He's still on the P250, but he's got armor. Perhaps, that could be beneficial. Not anymore, not with a shot like that from Lowell. And it's an even better one to find Seized when he arrives.
Well recovered. Seized the thorn in Mousesports' side there. It certainly made things a little bit exciting as the eco slip away from them. There was a chance there. There's the replay of how he gets in there. It's going to be Seized lining them up, spraying them down that silenced USP, the default weapon, managing to have a lot of impact there. 11-9 though, another gun round comes in, and this is what we're talking about, that double AWP setup. They go back to it, and it's going to be Guardian Glass Cannon AWP himself, and we'll see where he's deciding to go. He's actually going to be towards the B site. It's almost Simple that goes in towards A, so he'll be towards top and middle for now, and it looks like a heavy B commitment coming in straight away from the T side here. Lau holding for the flanks.
Oscar, AWP in hand, wants to find an opening, but has to be very cautious of the fact that Edward once more is going to play New Cubby. And he's got to line up. Gets one, can't get both on the way by Speedy. He managed to evade, but then gets dropped immediately after, and Nico follows into the grave, leaving Lowell 1 versus 5. Good play this time around from Na'Vi. Shuts them down entirely on the B site.
Yeah, they gave that simple B execution there. Not even much of an execution. There's a couple of flashbangs coming in, hoping to find that first kill, but Edward in a perfect position to counter it. He gets 2 kills on the side, Guardian chiming in as well. Looked very easy to handle, not really much given away. Just some damage towards C, that's about it. So Lau now trying to do what he can. He knows the money's going to be low, and every kill he gets, that was an amazing display of skill there with the AK-47.
Yeah, that's 4 headshots in the last 2 rounds that have all been crisp. I think Lowell's someone we have to continue to consider. He's a talent. Doesn't have bomb in this situation, and Molotov'd off, tries to fake that he's ran.
Those 2 shots were absolutely nuts. Well, he still has a chance to win this one, don't get me wrong. Very unlikely though.
Goes for the peek again. It's going to be an immediate face. They're both peeking, and Guardian with the op puts him down. So did try and run away, run down the hall. Perhaps sell that he was either going to drop or saving. And gets caught out in the end, 9-12. Na'Vi's still in the lead. And again, we do mention the coaching role. This is a team that probably benefits the most. Obviously, Threat being here helps. Perhaps one of the reasons he wanted to come along this time. But Starix has always been a large part of Na'Vi. That second shot was absolutely crisp.
And although, yeah, he doesn't win the round, right? But look at the damage he's done. Mousesports, they've got the AWP, the AKs. Yes, they have 1 UMP, but so has Na'Vi now. It's going to be simple. You've kind of taken an AWP out of his hand and actually made things a little tighter.
Flash down. Flamey gets one, but tagged back. Lowell again gets the closing shot. It's on the AK. Leaves it to 4 versus 4, and they act quick. Simple's had to slide back inside of the site at Stables. I think his teammate was actually firing through from connector door that did the bullet spray to his left. But Dennis still wants to try and find an opening as they rotate across inside of the balcony. Seized. Edward down below that at APC. So 3 on the A site. And Dennis wants to hold them here. Lowell's considering backtracking ever so slightly to get information. Guardian's not pushed out of B, so they've got room to work with and lots of time despite the early exchange. He still wants to hold that angle as well at doorway. 1 smoke only for Oscar. So if they smoke, where is it going to be? Is it going to be balcony or is it going to be door? And I would suspect you put it door at this point in time because that's your first point of contact on rotation. And Edward already on the site, doubling up with Simple to bait him in from barrels, or is Simple going to peek? Because if he just sits and doesn't move, he's in prime position.
Yeah, he just needs to be baited in by Edward at this point. 30 seconds remaining. Commitment from Mousesport comes in, and it's down to Simple whether they can actually do something about this situation.
And Edward's already faced, so that tells them that there's at least one on the platform. He's found by Dennis. Simple can't move. The one thing he has to worry about is exactly that angle. If they slip up and get underneath the balcony, he's called for it. He doesn't want to shoot unless he has to, but he had to because Dennis turned around before his teammate in balcony could spot him. And now he gets canceled out. The safe plant as well. Lowell and Nico once again doing all the work as Mousesports get inside of the site, and Guardians forced away. AWP found in the end by Oscar.
Not to harp on about it, but if you just think about the previous round before that, when Lau finds his 2 kills, we had a double AWP set up before then, and that's where Simple was playing towards top and middle, AWP watching that exact position that Mousesports walked into. This time, no AWP, it was actually shut down by Lau. That's a some people might not consider that a big deal, but you just think about it. Simple, that AWP, he locks that round down. He finds a couple of kills, doesn't even have a chance to get it towards middle. He's on a UMP, he has to sit at the back of the site, has no impact whatsoever. If he has the AWP, then he's lighting them up. But now it's a full eco and a chance for Mousesports to actually really get back into this game. This isn't double eco right now. They're going to buy up the next round with the 1900 they have. Taking quite a conservative eco here. But has heavily wounded Na'Vi. It won't be a great buy by any means. It'll be like shotguns, UMPs, and a couple of M4s.
Decent kill from Speedy on the Guardian. Sees goes down Nico's hands immediately after. Straightforward. Here the player dropping in behind. That's Edward, found taken down. Simple. Oh, come on, really? Just simple things, trying to look for a knife.
He loves it.
Flamey manages one, but it's a 1-point game. 12-11. Mousesports back into this, and here's a timeout.
Yeah, well, perfect time to take it, really. Like I said, the money's not going to be a great position, so let's have a look at it while the pause is happening. So, Seeds, he has $3,500. Simple, 39. Edward, just over 4K, and there's an AWP available for Guardian. He has 5,000 pretty much on the nose, so it'll be glass cannon once again. So, they lose this round. They do force buy into it. That makes things at 12-12. Considering the weaker buy, I'd expect them to potentially lose that. Well, they can get a Guardian AWP, so maybe not. But it's a perfect time to take the pause and work out, okay, do we buy into this round and potentially give ourselves a horrible path going forward? Or do we take the more conservative route and allow maybe a partial buy to come in, and then we'll have the real full buy, maybe that double AWP that comes in once again. So I think that's where they're leaning towards. So far, Guardians got a CZ and head armor. Simple's got the UMP, so they're going for that more partial buy approach. I think that's the right decision. They could have bought into this one, but it would have been so risky going forward. It would have actually maybe given the game away. And in the best of one scenario, you want to look at the bigger picture. What's going to win at this map? And I think this is the correct decision. So partial buy comes in, still enough to work with. Really got some couple of UMPs here, CZs, 5.7s, and these guys certainly can make those weapons do a lot of work. But like you said, like StarX is able to call for them throughout this tournament, which is certainly going to be beneficial to them. C's not known for his in-game leadership, and it was kind of the worst possible timing for Navi when that ruling came in with the coaching. Just as Zeus left, the week after, C's finds out, you're going to have to call him.
I think that was one of the memes that came out of all that, was pictures of Zeus being like, see you guys,
yeah,
my value's gone up.
Indeed.
He's done well with Gambit, I have to say, since he's joined. Hobbit along with him. Team looks promising.
Yeah, well, they picked up their first
win today.
Win today, yeah.
Against the former new former Fnatic. I don't know what tense you put on that.
The new
which order that has to go.
New Fnatic.
Yeah.
Well then, like I said, partial buy and the high fives come in. It's going to end up with 3 OMPs, a couple of
Those
pistols.
are important, those high fives.
Yeah, you've got to make sure you keep everyone rallied up. Well, looks like Mousesports are time to relax a little bit now. Nico's looking happy.
Yeah,
to be fair,
he's having fun.
He doesn't know to even be angry anymore. He's known to be quite an angry guy within his team, but he knows it's over after he leaves this one, so he might as well just,
I mean, maybe there's some psychology there. He's having fun.
Yeah.
You know, Wayne Gretzky used to say, if you're not having fun, a 10-foot pass is hard.
Yeah.
In hockey, it's true. You've got to have fun to be enjoying the game that you're playing, and if you're enjoying it, you play better. Nico, speaking of, will go toward long. Smoke bounced off to cover off the hole in the wall.
Him in. This will be a fake. Nico in by himself, NIP smokes, he'll go in and try and get a kill. His teammate's going towards A.
Well, there's a stack on the site of B. So the fake doesn't even really need to do much. It just needs to hold them there. Simple's backed off from long A as well, and I think he's thinking about rotating. Nico's got the first.
Perfect.
He is. He's actually sold it even though they only had one player on A, and that player's already gone as well. So perfect work done by Nico.
Yeah, you can see that building up. That's a really nice usage of the NIP smokes. If you're not aware of what those are, it's smokes from the top and middle. You can line them up. Threat kind of brought them in once he first joined as coach for NIP, and a lot of teams have adapted or adopted them, I should say. And it's great for fakes. That's a perfect example of how powerful it can be. Nico goes in the flashbang. This is those smokes bloom. He finds 3 kills, of course. And to be fair, it was just a partial buy from Na'Vi. Quite a lot of investment, though, to be fair. And it's going to be 3 kills for Nico, and he's actually got 26 kills right now. So he's doing a very good job overall as we finish round number 24. And that does tie things up. 12-12, it's happening. But like we said, the more conservative approach from Na'Vi, they will get the AWP out this time and have the M4s required to fuse kits, and not all the utility, but most of it. So then, Mousesports bringing things back here. In the second half, it's currently 6-3 in favour of the European side.
That said, obviously 6-3 speaking about the second half, but that said, they'll be bringing the op out on Guardian to go against Oscar in this particular round. Guardian sitting with 15 kills. Oscar sitting with 20, but I take that back, 19. It's all Nico that's going again. He transfers back the 2 kills that Seized get. Anything you can do, I can do better. And he's already down inside of the drop room, 11 HP, but he's got some position to work with. And Bomb just above him will wait for his call. He's committed at this point in time. There's no way to back out of drop without a boost, which still leaves 1 player down there. So he has to be clever in this situation and find the next kill, which is gifted to him by Simple.
Wow. This guy, man, there's so many big rounds for Nico. Now it's a 3-on-2 and such a pivotal round as well. Guardian and Flamey will remain.
Oh my goodness, he's got another 11 HP. He's up to 4 kills. And wrapping around behind him right now, I believe, is Flamey, who's turned and almost nearly gets another ace in this game. 2-1 for Nico, almost, but not quite, as Flamey shuts it down.
Okay, then Flamey up against it now. Speedy's coming in with a bomb towards the A site and thinks better of it. He'll actually go back towards B through the B halls here. And you can see that's actually a really cool assumption because Oscar, perfect position. He's in the connector. They know where Flamey is. And Mousesports take the lead here. Can you believe this, Matt? All things considered, like, this is a team in disarray. Mousesports, Na'Vi right now considered one of the best teams in the world. Like, they're making it to like the final later majors and all that sort of stuff. Mousesports are almost dead last at that event. They're losing Nico. You think, okay, definitely not going to make any impact here.
There's the factor, and your argument gets strengthened in the fact that you said whenever they win these games, you always think, remember that round from Nico, remember? Well, that's starting to happen, and he's up to 30. We used to say, or we had said previously, the kill distribution in this game is close. It's not. He's 10 ahead of everyone right now.
Yeah, he makes the 30 bomb come in. Lau's been lighting it up as well, so is Oscar, to be fair. And then Nico comes in, and Mousesports.
How happy are FaZe watching this game right now?
Yeah,
having fun, just out killing everyone.
Yeah,
that's that a boy. We're excited. Oh, X-ray off. Led to believe there was no one there, but Dennis does try and pop out. Guardian goes down as a result of it. It's Edward that will at least get 1 in return, but that's gone. And it's, well, pretty straightforward for Nico, isn't it? Headshot after headshot after headshot. Bye-bye, Edward.
It's getting
Simple
nuts.
versus 3. Mousesports going to find round 14. Very convincing stuff. And Na'Vi with the same problems because oh, nice shot. Only 1, though. Oscar's there, but this is the same problems. Utility and money is gone, and this is really starting to be the issue that Na'Vi consistently have on this map. Guardian goes back to the AWP. Flamey had the money to go for the double up setup, doesn't do it. They go to the M4s instead.
Yeah, well, still a couple more rounds to go for Mousesports, although the last few have been very convincing indeed. Nico coming to life. He picks up the AWP going to round number 27 here. All comes down to this. Na'Vi really do need to avoid match point at this stage. 3 to go as we enter this situation. 3 towards the upper platform here. Nico looking to find the aggressive pick as he gets flashed in as well. Another simple procedure from Mousesports, just choosing their bomb sites and sticking together as we get into the commitment potentially as well. Nothing on the A side of the map, so they have to operate quite quickly here.
Nico tries to find the opener, can't. And then finally, okay, so there's one of the things we have to talk about is the additional use of a Molotov on entry. Simple gets Speedy down. We talk about stairs, we talk about the original arch and chicken coop. Well, now they're throwing them toward that new extended cubby. That's 4 spots on entry that you potentially need to use a Molotov to clear. It works that time to push Seized out of position, but it's a 2 versus 2 still. As Guardian tries to relocate the AWP in a position that can catch off when they enter through the remaining smokes on the platform. An elevation from Nico might catch them off in this as well. Oh, the knee spotted. Doesn't want to overcommit to the shot. He's got it lined up, though, and it's all but done. It is now. Guardian steps 1 forward too far. Nico nearly gets the flick. Doesn't. Flamey's low, but it's a nice shot from Nico, and it's map point for Mousesports.
2-on-2, and you can see how happy these guys are. Finally, some luck coming in for the Mousesports side. Nico finds 35 kills. The AWP shutting it down with 19. He can see like he's working out exactly what he had to do. They're using the smoke, boosting himself up under the box, and this spots Guardian there, and they've reached match point. 3 to go. A huge better rounds here, all things considered. Just need to find 1 in the next 3. It's going to be Famus's UMP and 2 M4s for Na'Vi. No kits, actually 1 kit, I beg your pardon. And just 1 smoke and a flashbang to work with here. If ever there's a chance to win the map, this is it for Mousesports. And what a story that would be. Coming into this tournament, swapping out Chris J. Nico's leaving. No one had any hope
Chris
for
is
them.
coming back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's absolutely.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's all nuts. But yeah, here we go then. A chance to knock out Na'Vi, one of the best teams in the world right now. Okay, who would have thought?
Well, knock them down, remember. It's the groups that they go into and eliminate.
I'm just getting excited, man.
You are. You're getting a little bit ahead of yourself.
Yep.
Control yourself, Henry. Don't go all in yet. As Edward gets one, but traded back by Nico. Need to be very, very efficient and avoid trades if they can on the Na'Vi side. They need to get ahead. Keep a footing in the round. A quick pop flash to make sure there's no boost up. Speedy checks the drop room. They now know that's at least cleared at the top side of it. They haven't peeked over it down below just yet. Seized is trying to use that smoke to get back in a position at long B, but they're going very slow on the Mousesports side. 37 seconds and no commitment made. Drop looking tantalizing as 3 players get up above it. Guardian's backed off of it as well. Simple getting Oscar. That's the kill they needed to keep the offset in their favor, but it's Nico again through a smoke that wants to go hunting. Wrap around clear rock, B's open, and they're going to play the retake. Seized is pushed up toward the long platform and given them the sight. So strength in numbers for Na'Vi to keep the game alive. Nico might get caught by this. He's already checked the long corridor. Seized is in the corner. But Nico's at stairs, and now he's ready. And as soon as they arrive, one shot is all it takes from Nico.
Oh my God.
To absolutely obliterate Seized. He lines up for Flamey, but he goes down. It's still going to be a 2 versus 2. Speedy got a kill on Guardian immediately beforehand. Flamey wants through the door. It doesn't yet have access. Simple with an op has the only kit. He's sneaking in ever closer. Speedy's going to be left in the open, but Dennis spots it. That'll cause rotation, cause confusion. Dennis gets the shot on Flamey. It's all on Simple, who continues to try and spam toward KFC. No chance as he baits it out. AWP, 13 HP, and Mousesports have done it. They'll take down Na'Vi in the first map of their group stage.
So sick from Nico. What a game that was. 37 kills he finishes off.
That's
19
on
deaths.
round 26, he had 30. It's round 28 and he finishes with 37. That's insane.
Just whenever he's alive, you just know he's going to be up to no good. And that shot on the platform to finish things off, as they're rotating in, they give them the B site. They're going for the retake at that point. They're really up against it, and you can see Seized. He knows. He knows what's happened there.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think that Nico, a couple things have happened over the time. He's lost motivation because, like you say, he gets frustrated. They've been losing for so long. He's given up hope.
He's like tilted.
He's strat calling, exactly. He's strat calling as well, which takes his focus away. And he's not having fun. You put back fun. I don't know if he was calling or not in this game.
No, it would have been LMT.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
So he gets the freedom, and now he's like a little bit of encouragement to just enjoy himself. I'm thinking that's the form we're going to see at FaZe. I have a feeling that he's going to show up and be.
That's why it's so tantalizing why he goes to FaZe. Now he's got Carrigan to kind of handle that side of things, or the admin. He can just do his thing now, and we know how incredibly good he is. That's really exciting, and we're concentrating on Nico right now. Let's just talk about the other side as well. Na'Vi, this is a group that are great for them, and now they dropped the first game to Mousesports. Not a great start there. Cobblestone as well. I thought they were going to run away with that, but still, that was a really cool game to cast. It was actually really interesting.
It was good. Same problem for Na'Vi. Again, though, the CT side was abysmal. They've got to work on that on this map.
Yeah.
Obviously, the major hopefully wasn't an anomaly. They did show it to be better, but they weren't in that form. Today in this game, and obviously it's hard with Nico being the way that he was. With that said, day one done. All of our 16 teams have played. We'll send it back over to the desk for the last time. They'll talk you through what just happened.
Nico happened. There you go. End of conversation. Been a pleasure. That was a real show, and your Mousesports prediction does come through.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. What matters is it's actually his birthday. I mean, his birthday is Thursday, so depending on how you look at it, EU time, it's already his birthday. NA time here, not yet. But I think that, you can see that he's pretty happy to play CS.
Yeah, quite the birthday reward is actually not only beating Na'Vi, a team regarded by some very highly, and also he's also gone and done it to take himself to meet his next team.
That'll be
in
interesting.
The upper bracket tomorrow to get a spot in the playoffs. That's going to be cool. But we'll get excited about that in just a moment. Oh, okay. Before I get this, because I feel like this is going to be a rant, Duncan. I'm not going to talk to you just yet. Before I trigger that rant, I will head over to Smix because apparently she's ready. I'm sure Mousesports are raring to go ahead and celebrate, as that's perhaps a surprise for them as well. We'll find out. Sue is standing by.
Congratulations, Nico. It was a great match against Na'Vi, especially because Cobblestone was the map that they showed us at the Major as one of their strongest maps. But Cobblestone, on the other hand, for your team, hasn't been one of the best maps. But despite all of that, your team performed so confidently. You yourself had some crazy rounds. So what is the team going through right now?
We knew that we were going to play Cobblestone from the start, and we knew that we were going to be not under the pressure since I'm leaving the team. So we just gave our best. I don't think that Na'Vi is really good on Cobble. Maybe they show some good else on Major, but overall I think they're not that good. So we just gave our best, and that's what we could do. But that's what we did.
Well, speaking of leaving the team, as you just mentioned, you will be joining FaZe after this event. How excited are you, and what are your expectations joining this new team?
I'm really looking forward to this. It's been a long time since I wanted to play with them, like maybe especially with Train, because I really like that player. So I don't know. I think that our goals is gonna be like to reach top 1, I think, and that's it.
Well, speaking of FaZe, you're actually going to be playing them next. Just really interesting since they're also in a similar position where they're kind of playing under no pressure. So how do you think that match will pan out?
I have no idea. It's going to be really fun to play it against, I guess. So I'm going to enjoy it, definitely. I'm going to give my best. I'm going to play like I did against Navi.
Sounds good. Well, congratulations again. And with that, the winner's match will be FaZe versus Mousesports.
If he continues to replicate that performance, and if he does that in FaZe, I'm sure FaZe are going to have a big smile on their face right now. In fact, Kerrigan's already watching from the hotel room with a smirk on his face. What did he say?
Yeah, he said, I wish to play with Nico, like he was being facetious, I think. But not too long now.
Not too long, no. Indeed, I mean, DreamHack Vegas, the last tournament, in case you were unaware, the last tournament he'll be playing with Mousesports before he does move over to his squad over at FaZe. Cool pickup for FaZe. Looking forward to seeing what that happens. But Duncan, the rant I was expecting, I don't know how much there is to be said. You did just tweet, Navi is overrated as fuck.
I mean,
elaborate.
Proof's in the pudding. I mean, what did people overrate them on? Okay, they had these 3 group stage games at the major. Okay, if you notice, in the Swiss system, we had a lot of funky results. We had a bunch of like weird ones, like SK getting wins on Mirage when they weren't particularly good on Mirage. We had SK obviously beating Astralis, the eventual champions of the tournament. All sorts of godsent destroying Astralis. So there's all these upsets all over the place. So remember, you don't know who you're playing at different points in the tournament. So I didn't put that much stock in Navi's 3 wins there. Like, it looked good, but it's almost like it was too easy. Like, they were on the CT side every time. We still didn't know until this match what their T side's even like. And actually, it was okay, but it was Mousesports, you know? Then you got to add in, one of the core factors is, I think Guardian is terrible in this team. He has just not looked good in a long time, and he's still getting the AWP, and it's just not a... And I actually think the final thing that really annoys me about this Na'Vi is all these idiots who think logically, since Simple was the last to join, and now the team's not very good, it must be Simple's fault, have like almost berated this guy into like not being a star player and being a team player. And as a result, you've taken away the one really dangerous weapon you had going for you in this team. So I think at the moment, Na'Vi's a team in real disarray, and even having Starks with more input, it's not enough at the moment. So they could still certainly get out of this group stage. Obviously, if you can get that decided, it's a best of 3. You probably still favor them. Renegades in the lower match, that's a nice little pick-me-up, but I don't think this is a team that's going to contend for the title, personally.
Okay. Just one final question before we do move on is when was Navi last considered in your top 3, top 5? I mean, New York, was Guardian, was there criticism towards Guardian when they lifted the trophy in New York?
He was good in the final.
He was,
yeah. The rest of the tournament, actually, if you go and look, he kind of got carried. It was Simple and Flame. He really got him to that point. Yeah, he looked good in that one, but even that was kind of like a little bit of a flashback, you know. He'd had some poor results before. That's when Navi had kind of fallen off. So this has been a consistent problem. And in fact, a lot of the problems they have now as a team were present before Simple got there.
Right. Now, Yanko, just moving in towards you and Mousesports' success, you criticized, you chastised their T-side on Cobble, and it looked like they actually found some real success there. What changed?
What changed is that they actually realized it themselves probably, and they weren't going for that slow style, default style, taking map control. They were just brute forcing their way in pretty early on, whether it's going to be A or B, you know, platform, or running up mid. They were just trying, okay, let's just go together as a unit and try and get control of the bomb site to win our aim duels, because we can't do anything else.
Yeah, and aim duels were coming their way, Chad. Admittedly, a majority from Nico. Do we direct a majority of the praise over to that one man?
I think when you get so many frags, you know, you have to, especially the key rounds that he had. He had that 4K with the AWP on the B site. He also had that ace where he retook the site on his own, basically. He was the one who was pushing them across the line. Everyone else had to contribute, you know, it wasn't just him, but he was the star, and I think he definitely needs to be praised for them winning that game. I can't believe how many times, though, early on that the Mouse were getting onto that A bomb site with pistols on their 4 spies. Actually, no, it was the other way around. That Na'Vi were getting on the A bomb site against Mouse, and they weren't even like holding the site. I was so confused, because I know you're used to teams going towards the B site, right, with their pistols and doing drop splits onto the site. They were just running up A, getting site control, and I was baffled. Simple killing a couple of people from stables when he with that picked up M4. I guess it's a mixed team at this point. I just probably expected more fundamental Counter-Strike from Mouse, probably.
And you have to consider as well, I mean, Mouse were losing the pistol rounds. And there was that crazy round where, as you're mentioning here, Simple comes up, gets the Colt, and kills everyone with it. So this could have been even more one-sided, actually.
It could have. Fortunately, it does end 16-12, relatively respectable for Na'Vi, but still a very tough and bitter pill for them to swallow. Now, Yanko, there was one round in particular I wanted to walk us through. Is it time for Weatherman, Yanko?
Yeah, this is I think this is a perfect example of Mousesports and their tactical prowess.
Okay.
Not just in this game, but basically throughout the tenure as a team. So let me just find the round right here. Let's go, 11-12. So this is the round where Mousesports decide to, switch things up a little bit, try to split up. They've been trying to go B a lot. So this is where you see Nico and Speedy towards the B bomb site. They're faking a B execute. The rest of the team is focused towards the A bomb site with the C4. And this is how the execute comes into place. Nico goes B, kills everyone, and basically at that point in time he's thinking
that is the best tactic, right?
If I kill everyone, then the fake has to work. Like, there's no way my team can, not win the round. And that turns out to be the case. So if you go for a fake and the player that's faking, he kills everyone, that's a good round. That works. So props to Mouse for coming up with that, and props to Nico for, executing it properly. That's not as easy as it looks maybe here, guys. So.
You couldn't do that any better, could you? That kind of run out and headshot everybody's strategy.
Well, there you go. A little bit of extra insight. Sometimes Weatherman Yanko is incredible in-depth analysis. Other times it's Nico killing 3 people. And that's exactly what happened.
The strat itself was good.
No, it was, yeah.
But yeah, you need those kills to make it work, I guess.
Yeah, well, actually, he messed up their strat.
I mean,
it's like, how dare you kill 3 people? We were planning on
jokes
faking.
aside, that fake would probably work if he gets just, one kill. The problem is, Edward was in the cubby, so he could probably tell that it's a fake. So you need at least 1 kill. Doesn't matter how many nades you throw or anything. You need kill. You need to force the players to rotate. And you can see that they managed to do that because he got 3 kills. The round was already over at that point, but yeah.
Well, I mean, this result from Mouse is going to put a real nice spin on the Group D. Looking forward to seeing how things do shape up. We can actually bring up the results from our first day, a little summary, in fact, of how things did look. We were talking about which VODs you guys should go ahead and check out. And, I mean, Chad, you talked about NIP Cloud9. VP Misfits, the 16-12, I think, was one that particularly stood out to me. Duncan, any other ones to add to the pile? Optic besting North right at the start of the day?
Yep, that's an interesting one, especially because obviously the first game that we saw on Inferno. So kind of interesting to see how 2 teams tried to adapt there. 2 teams usually known for the strong T side, actually kind of weak T sides. I would say actually just go and watch the Mouse one, but just watch it only from Nico's POV.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Get the demo.
There's a pattern there. It went favorite winning, then favorite losing, favorite winning, favorite losing the whole way.
All right, get your tinfoil hat.
Illuminati confirmed.
OCD, of course.
We can bring up what's coming up tomorrow as well. We'll work our way through those groups because you guys have got some intriguing ones. We already said Group D is going to look crazy. Let's have a quick look and start with Group A. We'll work our way through alphabetically. We can start with, of course, Astralis getting their early win. It was right at the start of the day. You may not have joined us for that one, but Complexity did fall rather swiftly. Just 21 rounds of play, and they are met by Optic. So that's a pretty good way to start the day. Astralis, Optic, these guys are an infamous bit of a rivalry going on between these two, often meeting in offline tournaments. And over in the lowers, North are going to have to battle versus Complexity. And over in Group B as well, you're going to be seeing, I would just presume, more of the same in that upper bracket. You can see VP Gambit. Now, I don't know about you, but I actually think that could be a real intriguing best of 1. I mean, I don't know about you, Gambit. You've impressed me.
Well, I mean, here's an interesting detail. Like, Virtus Pro is on a really big Cobblestone winning streak, and Gambit is undefeated on Cobblestone. So that's a matchup where absolutely maybe you could see that be played, which would be very kind of a big statement, I think, if Virtus Pro play it and beat them on it.
Yeah, and VP is a team that would probably have no problem playing on the map, which would make for a great map.
That's a good call. And in the lowers, Chad, you get Misfits, Fnatic. Misfits, did they turn your head at all in the 12 rounds versus VP?
Oh, well prepared on their T side. CT side, it wasn't so fantastic, but I think Fnatic are going to bounce back pretty strong. This is the same across the board with these lower bracket matches. The favorite team should be coming out on top.
And we get a rematch from the Pro League Finals in Sao Paulo. SK Cloud9. Cloud9 did do some damage, in fact taking NIP to a full 30 rounds and picking up the win puts them in the upper and 1 map away from playoffs. However, SK standing in their way could prove too much of a challenge, wouldn't you say, Duncan?
Yeah, at the moment, I mean, even with the new player, you'd figure they're the favoured team.
It's going to be fun to see either way. And then Nico plays his next team. That's right. After Vegas, he'll be moving to FaZe, but now it's going to be one hell of a performance. It's going to be almost a little bit of a late job application, showing them what he's capable of. And we've already seen today he's been let off his leash on Mouse and Renegade's Na'Vi as well. You described that. What did we describe that as? As a little bit of a pick-me-up? Renegade's performance, was it that bad, Chad? Was it really
I think he meant to pick me up for Na'Vi.
For Na'Vi, exactly. Yeah. Was it demoralizing to watch from a Renegade's perspective?
It wasn't that bad.
Ugly CSs was the casual term.
So apparently they've only
but you're used to that if you're a Renegades fan. Yeah. Even when Chad was playing.
Yeah.
Plus, it's actually the law in some states in America. You have to pick it up once the dog's done it and then put it into a bin.
It's the law everywhere.
You get a fine otherwise. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, it has been a day.
Dispose of Renegades environmentally consciously. Kids.
But the Swede did do well.
The
Swede did well.
The Mad Adder.
He wasn't bad.
The Mad Adder. Sounds better in an Australian accent, I'll tell you that now. All right, so we've already talked about tomorrow and what you guys have to look forward to. You're going to be joining us at the same time tomorrow for more of the same. One final thank you to all of our sponsors that made this possible. The likes of Monster Energy, we've been drinking that all day, and of course, Asus, Republic of Gamers, HyperX, and the MGM Grand. What a location. Can't wait to go ahead and get to that stadium. It is going to be historic. But we're not there yet, and we're going to have another day of groups tomorrow. In fact, 4 teams are going to be eliminated, and 4 will lock themselves in for that stadium. It's going to be awesome. We hope to see you tomorrow for more of the same.